The New South Wales Government is weighing up an extra public holiday on the Monday when Anzac Day falls on a weekend. Chris Minns will consult with the RSL about the idea, hoping such a move wouldn't detract from the significance of April 25th. Only the ACT and WA currently allow an additional public holiday when the 25th occurs on a Saturday or a Sunday. For their take, let's bring in commentator Kath Webber and Luke Boner from the Bonafide podcast. Morning to both of you. Kath, what do you think?
I think this just highlights how this is our national day, one of the most important days of the year. How is this not a uniform, thing across Australia that we know what happens when it falls on a Saturday or a Sunday? Say, for example, in Queensland, if it falls on a Sunday, you can get the Monday off, but if it falls on a Saturday, you don't get the Sunday off. I know the inference here is a lot of people may imply that you're having it off with you've had too many rum and milks and played too much tour. But it's not that. If it's on a Sunday, why are you getting the Monday off? I think it needs to be a uniform rule around Australia. It's a super important day, and I know it sounds like you have Saturdays and Sundays off, but for a lot of families, when you've got groceries, kids, and you're pulling the little ones out of bed at 3:30 a.m. to go and do the march, it gives people time just to clear the day, to just make it about remembering our diggers and, reflecting on the past. And I think that is really important. So I think it's definitely something we should look at, but nationally.
Okay, because nationally, I didn't realise this, but we're all different.
Yeah.
Luke, everyone's counting up the public holidays. So there are 10 public holidays designated. Yeah. Then Victoria, Queensland, ACT and South Australia get 3 or 4 more. Yeah. New South Wales only gets 2 more. Yeah. So it's a bit of a dog's breakfast. What do you think about the Anzac Day one?
Well, I'm with Kath on this. Anzac Day is our national day. We've just all experienced Australia Day and how divisive that can be. Well, one day that isn't. And the day that I think galvanises us is Anzac Day. To me, it's a really, really sacred day. And I'm sorry, you have Anzac Day on the day, and that's it. And look, WA is different, the ACT is different, but I really do think it detracts from how special that day is.
So no public holiday, Luke?
No.
If it falls on a weekend, that's just it?
That's it. That's it. Now, if it fell on a Tuesday, you watch how many people would have that Monday off and probably have to take it out of their holidays or get a sick note from the doctor. But I think if whatever day it is, it falls on that day, and that's the day you remember Anzac Day. And I tell you what, the Hospitality Association, I don't think, are going to be too keen on this, because the latest figures show that up to 75% of their profit goes on wages on that day. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. No, to me, I know a lot of people will hate me for this, but I say Anzac Day, on the day, that's it. Yeah,
no, people are pretty split. Tell us what you think. It's an important day.
It is.
Top tennis player Aryna Sabalenka cruised into a 4th straight Australian Open final overnight, but there was controversy early in the match when an unusual grunt was deemed a hindrance, which made her lose the point. Let's have a listen to it.
Stop. Hindrance.
How many players do different?
This is hindrance to me. Okay? Because you don't make the normal sound.
I think it was a wrong call, but whatever. She really, how do I say it in a nice way?
Yeah, she said she was not happy. Kath, it's the difference between the ha and the ha.
Yeah.
Apparently.
What was that?
I'm lost. I've had the phone up to my ear 20 times trying to catch it, and I can't quite catch it. Look,
it's an elongated one.
It is. It's different, and they know the rules. Like we, mere mortals, they know what's right and what's wrong, and when they're pushing it, this is what they live and breathe every day. So I don't know that the rules are the rules. I don't know that she would have been that surprised. I loved in her press conference when she said, "How do I say this in a polite way?" Probably not. That's probably not the politest way to say it. But look, I think the grunting's never bothered me. I know for some people they have to put the telly on mute, which I think is a problem for their commercial sponsors, and it really annoys people. But I think it adds to the game when you're in the stadium. I think it just adds to the atmosphere. But I know I'm probably in the minority. I think it annoys everyone.
You are.
I know.
On Sunrise Hotline, Michael says he turns off. Wayne says he won't watch. Patricia says all grunting should be banned. Luke, what do you think? Apparently the rules are it needs to be tied to the shot not
Yeah.
after. So the ha is fine, but the ha is not. What do you reckon?
Sorry, what was that again? How'd it go?
You heard me.
Do you know what? The first recognised grunter was Monica Seles. And if you remember, and she was grunting from, I think, about the age of 7 because she was little and she was holding the racket with 2 hands and she needed the extra strength. And it came to a head in the 1992 Wimbledon final against Martina Navratilova, and there was a big brouhaha over that. The grunting really is distracting, but especially if you're grunting before the ball hits the racket, and it can put the opponent's timing off. So it's a fine line.
Yeah.
Is it a reaction to strength being exerted, or is it deliberate to put your opponent off? Now, I think it's up to the umpire's discretion.
It is.
But it is annoying.
It is up, you're right, it's up to the umpire's discretion. You can't be the double grunt, and it should not be deliberate. And if it's hindering the other player, you're in trouble.
It's grunt gate.
That's what's happened.
You can't do a double
gate.
grunt. We've got it.
It's brouhaha.
And this hotline, I tell you, it's going off this morning with Grunt Gate. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Pleasure.
See you.
Here's Chevo.
Forget grudge.
Australians might be treated to an extra day off in April with this year's Anzac Day falling on a Saturday. Live now to Emily Francis in Sydney. Emily, people are calling on the Premier to honour the public holiday on the Monday.
Yes, Eddie Premier Chris Minns says his government is having a look at whether New South Wales should get a public holiday on the Monday after Anzac Day. Now that's because both this year and next the commemorations will fall on a weekend. The remembrance services though will still take place on April 25, and the Premier says it's crucial that an extra day off doesn't detract from the significance of the day. That's a discussion that will need to be had with the RSL. Not everyone's on board though. The hospitality sector is pushing back hard. The Australian Restaurant and Cafe Association has called it a terrible idea, warning that businesses already doing it tough may be forced to close if hit with further penalty rates. Currently, New South Wales has the least amount of public holidays in the country, but this proposal would take that up to 13 days off in a year in just a few short months. Eddie.
Thank you, Emily.